And we are back with the second round of day 2 of PauperGeddon Pisa 24.
This is the 9th round of
Yeah.
this event, this incredible event. We have more than 600 players, and soon we will have the last the win and din of this event from I think the next round.
Well,
Because X2 is on top 8.
our players are XO, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right? And what else we have? Martu Sint, played by Gavin Herhy, the head
Yeah.
of the Pauper format panel. So the player is 8-0. And
Amazing. Amazing.
how many points? What score do you need to get in the top 8? Because if you are undefeated, I guess you can just draw the last 2 rounds.
Last 2, so from the next round. From the next round. If you are 10-0, you can simply draw the last 2 and make top 8. But they have to fight for this round and also the next one. But we are close to the top 8. 8-0 is an amazing result. I mean...
All right, so we have Giorgio Venditti with Girl Ponza.
Wow.
And the other one, I think... we are
Also known as Giorgio Combo, but he's not playing Combo this
Yeah,
time.
Today is Giorgio Ponzo.
Today is Giorgio Ponza. So the list, Ponza is actually a very good deck.
In this event, at least, yes.
Yes. I mean, 78 player at the start
Of the day
yesterday on the day 1, the 12% of the metagame. So it was a really good call, but it was a very good choices thanks to Modern Horizon 3.
Oh, no, wait. Okay.
So they are starting the match. And we will have a fight between 2 great players. One game designer in Wizard, Gavin Verhey, and the other is one huge player, huge Italian player, Giorgio Venditti.
The struggle of Mirko saying Ponza is good.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, Ponza is not the most beloved deck from...
Yes, but currently it's true. Ponza is good. Ponza is good.
Yeah, you know, when the metagame is not already defined, very straightforward strategies and very aggressive decks are usually well positioned. So a deck like Ponza that also got a huge improvement from Modern Horizon 3 in form of variety crystallisis is doing really well in the current metagame. You know, decks like Kogate and also Grixis Affinity really struggle against this colorless creature, which also in the colors of World Ponza. So, you know, if you don't remember what the card is a 2/3/4 that cost 4 mana, which can be considered a lot, but it also generates double Eldrazi spawn on the cast because it's an Eldrazi.
Yeah.
And it also has reach, and it got boosted, getting a +1/+1 counter when you sacrifice an Eldrazi spawn. So it can become really big, and it also survive a lightning bolt or a galvanic blast because, you know, you generate those tokens not as an ATB, but as an still as a trigger ability, but on the cast.
Yeah.
So similarly to Cascade. Yeah.
So now in this matchup, I think that in game 1, the most important thing for Mardu Synthesizer is start with a lot of bridge. And in the list of Gavin, we have 10 bridges. So it's half of the mana base that is undestructible, and it's a cool idea in a in a Ponza meta.
Yeah, the cool part about the bridges, the indestructible artifact lands, is that when Modern Horizon 2 came out, adding those lands alongside certain cards like Chatterstorm and Sojourner's Companion to the format, Ponza was still playable, but it just died because, the format is full of indestructible lands, and
Yeah.
your gameplay involves destroying lands, so you can't do match anymore.
Okay, here we have a Lambas on turn 2 plus an artifact land that is actually destroyable,
Yeah, and there's a Thermocast.
and no removal for the Arbor Elf, so this was bad, but here we go.
Meanwhile, there's a wild Kelly head spotted on the on the high grass. Hello, Kelly. Yeah.
Hello.
Mirko, please save us from Ponza.
So a Trap and Charm, and there are only indestructible land currently from Gavin Ferry, and Giorgio is cycling through hand.
Yeah, 2 copies of Generosynth, the green version of Lorien Village.
So this will be an sort of empty turn, but he is preparing for the next turn.
Yeah.
I think. So
no Wygrowth or Utopia Sprawl
yeah.
can be.
Here, a Bolt or Galvanic Blast can gain a lot of time.
Any kind of removal spell is huge.
Yes.
At this point of the game, because we are probably likely to see an Avenging Hunter or a Boarding Party next turn, or maybe a Writing Chrysalis. And, if you kill the Arbor Elf, you are basically destroying a land from your opponent.
Yeah. Ooh, Refurbished Familiar is a really good card against Ponza.
Yeah, Ponza used to be really weak against flying creatures. They discarded a Thermocast.
Yes. So here, Synthesizer is a huge card on the battlefield because now every Glintok, every Skyfisher can generate advantage. Also, with Refurbished Familiar.
Yeah, if your opponent doesn't really have a lot of cards in it, you can just go for the little mouse and destroy their land.
So 6 mana for Giorgio and a Boarding Party, the first Cascade creature.
That's the Boarding Party.
And a Malevolent Rumble.
Malevolent Rumble.
Yeah.
All right, so take a look at the first 4 cards on your top deck and pick the best permanent among them.
Giorgio is thinking about keeping
Avenging Hunter.
Avenging Hunter.
And they also generate an Eldrazi's own token. So, Ponza, before Modern Horizon 3, was playing Llanowar Visionary. Right now, they don't play anymore the 3-mana elf because Malevolent Rumble does the same thing, more or less. It generates an extra mana for the next turn, and it also draw a card, but it costs 1 less mana. And you also choose the best card among those cards you are drawing.
Yeah. So look how beautiful is that Eldrazi spawn.
Yeah, it's sort of a little worm.
Yeah. Now the situation is not good for Mardu Synthesizer.
I don't know. I really don't know how this kind of matchup works. Do you have any idea? I mean, do you think is Mardu well favored in this matchup, or is Ponza the best deck?
I think it's a 50-50 matchup.
Yeah,
it depends. It depends by the start of Ponza, because I think that the nut start of Ponza is very tough to deal for Mardu. And I think that Gavin is searching for some lands, and there is another land, and there is another land. So
Okay,
this is
so
huge. This is
he
huge.
found a land and killed the Arbor Elf. And that munition can maybe change the game here.
Yeah.
Because it's likely not gonna do much to the opponent creatures. Well, beside
Yeah.
Arbor Elf. But
But killing the Arbor Elf now means 2 lands less for the
Yeah,
next turn.
yes.
So yes, Venditti will be able to play the initiative creature, but in the other side there are flyers.
yeah, you don't
There are
really want to
flying
play.
creature that can steal the initiative for at least 1 turn.
Also, you can ping your opponent creatures if you have a Galvanic Blast, against an Altisaur.
Yeah.
So you just use 1 card and 1 permanent to kill the most annoying card from your opponent. All right, so Gillen is trying to prevent Ponza from playing Annoyed Altisaur, yeah.
Yeah.
And, if you have ammunition, you can convert your charm blockers into direct damage. So
Yes.
preventing your opponent to dealing too much damage, and also to just win. I mean, if your opponent can deal damage to you and you deal more damage to them, you are probably winning.
The Chrysalid now is huge because it's a creature with wow.
Those handmade tokens are so sweet.
Yes.
All right, though.
So this is a rich creature plus technically 2 mana for the next turn. Can be very, very huge in this matchup.
Yeah.
Now Gavin has. I think that still there is a good plan that is trying to find all the Galvanic Blast and shooting your opponent plus the munitions.
Do you know what who is going with Zio Francone? Because they're asking us in the chat.
I don't know currently. You have to see the standings. But
you can watch the results on What's My Table.
Yep.
All right, so there's another Traben, the Novice Inspector, not a Traben Inspector, so it isn't a soldier, it's just a detective.
Yeah.
And
now there are 2 clue tokens, so Gavin can start to search for some bolt effect, bolt, Galvanic Blast. He play 8 bolt effect, so 16 cannot be a safe position for Venditti.
Well, anyway, the thing is, there's a Writing Chrysalis, and with Writing Chrysalis, it's very difficult to return in game.
Yeah.
But, if the Venditti didn't have the Chrysalis, the game was still going better for Mardu at this point. So just this single card, keeping all the opponent creatures from dealing damage, is just a huge improvement for Bonza. So now we are just waiting for Mardu to find a removal spell for the Chrysalis, or we are waiting for Bonza to find better creatures than Boarding Party to start going to the face again.
But you know what? Every Novice Inspector and Travel Inspector with makeshift munitions on board is like, okay, I draw 2 damage.
Wow.
Or it can be
another Writing Chrysalis.
Another Chrysalis.
Okay, so Ponza is playing the... I'm not sure if there's a deck right now which is supposed to be the aggro, and another deck which is supposed to be the control. I mean, probably both of them are trying
Wow, plus initiative.
sacrifice for Eldrazi's pawn and tap one land to make double for 5 and the initiative.
Now there
Just-
are
just
two.
awesome.
Now there are 2/6/7 creature with core. Two 6/7 colorless creature with reach.
Those creatures, just a single writing chrysalis was so difficult to deal with, and now there are 2 of them, and there's also the initiative.
Here you can say, okay, block, sacrifice the 2 creature, deal 2 damage.
At this point, it is pointless to think I'm supposed to attack or to not attack with the initiative and that many huge creatures. You just go face. I mean, you have a better board state compared to your opponent, and your opponent is struggling to find an answer. So you just keep your advantage and hope your opponent doesn't find anything because they are forced to block. Probably, they have only
I
8
think
lives
so,
left.
because there is the other initiative pieces.
And you can probably just hope to find enough copies of Galvanic Blast to kill your opponent with munitions and other burn spells.
Yeah.
It is important to note that as our friends in the Twitch chat pointed out, Chrysalis is broken. It's obviously broken, but without seeing any limited match, at least me, I wasn't thinking about writing Chrysalis in constructed. I mean, in Pauper. So Chrysalis is clearly good, but at least the content creators, the most Pauper content creators, no one thought about writing Chrysalis as the best card in the set. Cranial Ram was probably the best card since it got banned, but right now Chrysalis is a huge improvement for Ponza and also for Glee combo, the deck comboing off with Broadscale Lizard.
Yes.
Because, if you play the Giant version with Cleansing Wildfire, you don't really need to combo off, you just go face while generating some Eldrazi spawn and also couple of writing Chrysalis really big.
So now this will be maybe the most important turn because Gavin is at 2 and there is a 5 for trample creature on the opponent's board. So
Galvanic Blast. Your Avenging Hunter.
Yeah. Now,
because
Gavin has 2 blockers. Oh wow!
They attack still initiative.
So 1 damage, and
they don't activate the munition to ping the Traben. So
no, but he is searching for a basic because he's still the initiative. And now the point is,
do they have any removal spell?
Or 2 blockers, maybe 2 blockers, or
if they have
2 blockers can be
blockers,
enough.
That will be really neat. I mean, they are still surviving.
Yeah.
Green has finally returned in Pauper, and it is weird because previous to Modern Horizon 3 green was the weakest color, and now we have Wolves combo and Ponza as 2 of the best deck in the format.
Yeah. Here we have another Traben Inspector.
And I suppose we will likely see to another creature. I mean,
3 mana. No 3 mana. 3 mana.
No 3 mana.
No 3 mana.
They're cracking 1 clue token. No. Oh no, they are
dealing damage.
Yeah, there is already 1 damage from the combat.
Yeah.
So, it's just.
So you sacrifice a clue to deal 1 damage.
Yeah, they're converting their clue token into damage. So trying to survive their trying to deal 5 damage to that rating Chrysalis, and supposedly they have enough mana. I mean, they add for untapped lands after playing the Travel Inspector,
Yeah.
and that rating Chrysalis had already 1 damage on it, so they just needed to tap 4 mana to kill the rating Chrysalis, but instead of sacrificing too many permanents, they decided to play a Lightning Bolt, preserving their mana
Yeah.
and their clue because they don't have any cards left in hand. So, as you can see, Gavin was trying to choose the best
way to.
the best line.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, ho, ho.
Okay.
And I guess you are dead.
Okay.
Boarding Party from the top deck.
Yes.
Boarding Party is so good. Previously, the Pirate was probably the only reason to play Red.
So we will never know if it was a top deck or not.
Well, that's Ponza. Deck with high variance.
Yes.
Often the wargame playing of Ponza is drawing more copies of Boarding Party than possible.
Yes.
I mean, that's a creature so good. I mean, it has aced. Can you imagine a creature with 6 in power with aced?
Yes. Yes, I think that the chat is right. Mardu lost the game when he has not the possibility to kill the elf in at the start of the game, in early game, because it changed a lot. You gain so much time if you are able to destroy the elf on turn 1 or 2, and yeah. Also, if we think about the sideboard plan, Giorgio Venditti plays 4 Declaimer on the sideboard.
2 Gorilla Shaman.
Also 2 Gorilla Shaman to deal with artifact lands.
But do we know how many destructible lands has
10.
Mardu?
10.
10 untapped artifact lands.
No, 10 tapped and...
Okay, 10 bridges. And how many lands from Mirrodin? Do we have that?
I'm using my memory button.
Yeah,
but I will search for...
Would be cool to be able to find the deck list from Gavin.
Yeah.
So we are expecting to see some Glimmer post side, maybe even some Revel spells. I mean, being able to kill Korski Fisher seems kind of a good deal from the point of view of Ponza. You know, well, in reality, with Rating Chrysalis and similar creatures with Reach, you're still a good deck against Kulsi. Yeah, Kuldot. Against Boros Synth, because your creatures aren't really small as other decks like First, but are still smaller than your creatures with Reach. So, okay, if you don't find if you're a mouse spell, you can still chain block or just block them from attacking. But you know, if they have too many creatures, then it is also difficult for you to attack because you need to deal 20 damage to kill your opponent.
So I know that in the sideboard of Mardu Synthesizer, we expect a lot of Trap and Charm that can deal with Utopia and...
being able to destroy one wild growth in the first 2 turns is really great.
Also big creature in the mid game. Because if you have a lot of Traben Inspector, that's for sure. You have the Traben Inspector and the Traben Charm that can cast the Traben.
Wow, wild. Tribal Traben.
Tribal Traben.
No, Typal Traben.
So there are many cards that can deal with the strategy of Bonza, because if he's not able to ramp, you can create you can develop your strategy and try to win before the Ponza player can create.
You get a lot of time
Yeah.
by stopping Ponza from generating their
An unbeatable board.
yeah. You need the mana. So if you
Yeah.
stop them from developing their mana, you have better spells compared to your opponent because they cost only 1 or 2 mana, while Ponza requires the mana. So
Yeah.
to cast bigger threats like my favorite card in that deck is probably Annoyed Altisaur because it's a dinosaur,
Yeah.
and I think everyone loves dinosaurs. And there's also it's also good as a value creature, and also stop the flying creature.
Yeah.
That's really relevant here. And I told you that is very likely to see lightning bolt or breath weapon coming in from the sideboard of Ponza in the post sideboard game. And if you think about Trap and Charm, removal spells are kind of a counter spell to Trap and Charm because if
Yeah.
your opponent tries to kill your creature by casting Trap and Charm as a removal spell for a creature, you can cast in response Lightning Bolt or Breath Weapon to don't let your opponent deal as much damage as they want.
Yeah. Yeah, Gavin is mulligan again. I think at 6, but he mulligan in the first game and also in the second game. But Marble Synthesizer is a deck that can mulligan well. I mean, if you can try to force the keep with a removal spell on turn 1 or 2 to deal with Elf, to try to deal with the perfect start of Ponza, because you have to gain some time to participate the dinosaur, the Altisaur, that is a huge creature to deal with. So now,
Meanwhile,
I think that.
Sorry.
Go.
Meanwhile, thank you very much, Bina, for the raid, and welcome everyone. We're starting with the second game of this second round of PauperGeddon day 2. So Venditti kept 7 cards, and if I remember correctly,
Yeah, Gavin mulligan.
Mulled down to 6 or 5.
I was hoping for Dawnbringer Cleric here. Yeah.
Well, in Italy, we call Dawnbringer Cleric, we call Ciavattas Cleric.
Wow, Thermocast on turn 2 and 4 mana for Venditti. So with an Arbor Elf here, you can start the Jurassic Park party.
But right now you don't really need Arbor Elf unless you have an hand full of big creatures. But probably right now would be better to have a couple Deglamers in hand. And I'm not sure if there is a Gorilla Shaman post side from Ponza, but Gorilla Shaman right now is really bad, as you can see.
Right now, yes, but I think that during the game it can create a lot of damage.
That's for sure. If you maybe Declaimer on the top deck, milled out by Malevolent Rabble. So they're picking the Altisaur over the Generous Ant and the Chopper's Pearl.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they already have the line drop for this turn, and they're generating 0/1 Eldrazi Spawn, so they don't really need another mana source.
Yeah, with another mana, the next turn an Altisaur can start to create chaos on the battlefield.
What time did the event start this morning? The 8-0 is carried over from day 1. You still keep your results from the previous day. So
look at that.
If you start day 2 with 2 losses or 2 draws, you are forced to win every match to get in the top 8. So for our friends playing this match, we are seeing on camera, it's kind of easier compared to the people at the lower seat. And here, Kevin is going for the aggro.
Did you see that?
At
Did
a
you see
very
that? Also,
better start.
Also, it was really wise to play that bolt on
On the
Eldrazi
Eldrazi spawn,
spawn,
yeah.
because now Venditti is not able to cast any spell, or at least he has to draw something. Also, discard 2 card
Wow.
was huge. Wow!
Oh, ho, ho.
Wow! Look at that! Look at that! This is
Oh.
this is the power of that
Wow.
card.
Parrot into parrot, and there's, I guess,
They are
choosing
indestructible.
which land destroying based on the
They are
dual
counting.
lands.
Yeah.
Planes. Okay, so if they destroy the planes, they likely have Gorilla Shaman.
I
Or-
think so.
If you
I
think,
think so.
If you think about the shoes, I don't know how to say it in English. The decision to discard a boarding party over the annoyed Altisaur.
Yeah.
It really rewarded Venditti because thanks to that Mongolia Stimos, now they have 7 mana to cast the Altisaur.
Yeah.
And it would be very cool to see an Altisaur cascading a Writing Chrysalis.
Yes. I think that the opponent is at 8, and you have like 7 bolt effect left in your deck. So you
Wow.
wow. Give
As
me 6
predicted.
numbers. I have to I have to try the lottery.
The cool
That's
thing
amazing.
here is
True rich creature. But still, if Gavin has 2 bolt in hand, there are 3 flying creature on the battlefield, so at least 2 damage can take the life of the opponent at 6, and just two bolts can be enough in this moment.
yeah. I think we are still not sure how the game will end. So
Bolt.
our players aren't really showing us their end. They don't have a lot of cards, but the game is really lively. I say. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of
Synthesizer
lot of decisions.
into a bolt.
Okay, what are you gonna doing here with lightning bolt? Probably just bolting on the face. I mean, you can choose the attack.
This is not
with
easy.
everything,
This is not
and
easy.
then bolt one.
Bolt in face?
Unblocking. Or okay, so I
Bolt in
guess.
face.
Well, your opponent is just at 5 life. If you attack, you are dealing 2 damage.
Yeah.
And by attacking, if you have a lightning bolt in hand, you can kill your opponent. But they also need a land. If they don't have another red source
but-
in hand, they can't really kill your opponent.
Another Traben
Okay.
Inspector,
And they pass.
and pass. Okay. So we are still searching for another bolt.
Okay, so at this point, if you haven't bring it in Niles Disciple, and if I was in
Ooh. But I mean, this is correct because you can chum block the boarding party, and then also Venditti cannot attack with the other 2 creature
Yeah,
because
you can't really attack here with your Altasaur. I mean, if you attack, you're
I mean, the
likely
mat,
gonna
the
lose.
mat is easy because Venditti has no bolt effect, so you can go to true and then attack back and win the game. So
Oh no, they have the lightning bolt.
I think so. There is no difference between block two
Yeah.
2 of the 3 creatures. So okay, 2 damage and
Galvanic Blast or Lightning Bolt.
Galvanic Blast.
There's not even the chance to
Okay, so
cast
we-
Weather Storm on the response.
So we will see. I was carried for a moment of a weather the storm.
Yeah, the Altasaur almost made the game, but
Yeah.
Galvanic Blast is kind of better than at that point of the game. At least.
Yes. So for now, we will have a game 3 of this amazing matchup with these two amazing players. We have to remember that Gavin is from Wizard and Giorgio Venditti is, I think, winner of a PauperGeddon, yes?
Yeah, he won at last one PauperGeddon.
Yes.
But at that time was playing a combo deck,
Yes.
Tireless Tribe with Gash.
Yes, at least one, and also he lost the final of the first top Pauper player event.
And was playing another combo deck,
Yes.
Altatron. And Venditti, is the creator of Altatron.
Yeah.
The first person which believed in Ashnod's Altar and
Yes.
started playing Retriever, Golem Foundry, and in his mind, the deck was supposed to be a better version than Mogwart, Goblin Combo, because in a similar way, combo off with creatures, but it is better against removal spell. I mean, okay, you can bolt my Mirror Retriever, but if you do that, I bring back another Mirror Retriever.
Yeah.
And if I have an Ashnod's Altar, I just go infinite. If I go infinite with Mirror Retrievers, I don't not generating mana, but I can generate an infinite amount of tokens with Golem Foundry, or I can get infinite life with Fangor Marauder, or with
Look at
Water
that.
Storm.
Look at that.
All right, turn to the Glimmer.
Look at that. This is huge.
Yeah,
This is
that's a
huge.
great time walk.
This is the perfect start. I think that if you start like this and
Problem.
you follow it with
It have another animal, another land denials. No, just
no
breaking
worst,
results.
worst. I think
Well,
worst.
in reality, if you had a Muli as the most year,
Yeah.
that was probably kind of better.
Yeah, but a 4/5 rich creature is
Okay,
not
so
it's not
there-
good to deal with. In this moment,
Gorilla Shaman on the top deck. They're
sacrifice
sacrificing
one,
two spawns.
sacrifice two.
Oh,
So this is
7 mana. You know what it
7
means.
mana
Dinosaur.
dinosaur. Yes,
The first card, Forest, Arbor Elf.
and another arbor elf.
Okay,
Okay.
attack with Chrysalis.
Yes. Yes.
Rating Chrysalis is kind of similar to Tentacruel. Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like really the Jurassic Park world when you saw a lot of different kind of beasts, like an Eldrazi, a dinosaur, elf, a
than-
legendary creature.
More than Gruul Punza is Gruul Zoo.
Yeah. So this is a tragedy.
Zootopia.
This is a tragedy for Mardu. Because there are too much pressure on the battlefield.
Yeah, that Altisaur, even
Yeah.
though he didn't really do anything besides generating an extra mana in form of Arbor Elf,
Yeah.
is still a huge deal. I mean, what kind of removal spells you can play
Wow.
to deal in a decent way against that many huge creatures? And there is the best card when you want to play around removal spells.
This is also good.
2024 player
yeah.
ask. If you started playing Pauper,
It's a gigantic player ask. This is a really good card because you can in late game.
if you kill the germ, you just equip the equipment on an Arbor Elf. Colossal Dread Mask is the Colossal Dread move of this set.
Yeah.
So a card is supposed to be a joke or a sort of meme.
But It is strong in
Yeah,
a lot
here
of
it's strong because
situation. A lot of situation. There are a lot of cards that during the pre-release were huge, and this is one of that. And also now in Pauper, also Chrysalid seems like a meme at the start,
can
and now
you
it's one of the best cards of Modern Horizon 3.
can you imagine losing to a card supposed to be aggressive, but it costs 4 mana? I mean, it isn't. It is not something like Crimson Commodore
Yeah.
or the Red Monarch or Boarding Party, but since you are playing pawns, you generate a huge amount of mana, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
They will nerf Ponza due to Dread Mask. They say in the Twitch chat. All right, so very hard here for Gavin.
Yes, yes. Even if you find an answer to that Dread Mask, Venditti is able to pay 5 mana and create a 7/7 7/7 creature with trample.
It gives
Do
also
you
trample.
imagine? Do you imagine an Arbor Elf with a huge mask of a dinosaur on the face?
I mean, probably Colossal Dread Mask is kind of the Poon's ancestral mask.
So, from now, Venditti has a lot of pressure still. On the other side, we have only some chump blockers for the Chrysalid, no red mana,
And
and
also no land. They missed the land drop, but
yeah,
probably doesn't really matter at this point. Throwing lands, you are already.
as the chat said, stop. He is already dead. It's hard to
lose from this spot.
lose from this spot and to come back for Gavin.
Yeah, not having the right answer in time
Yeah.
for the Chrysalis was probably costed the game to Mardu. So they
Yeah.
can block it. Acid. So
Wow.
Venditti is on acid today.
Wow, with only 2 lands. I mean,
You can
it's
cast
very
one
tough.
more spell, like
Yeah.
cast down, but cast down costs 2 mana, doesn't cost 1 mana. So
Pay 1 mana.
Oh,
Another refurbished familiar. Draw a card because Venditti has no card in hand. And
in reality, all your removal spells are just time walks right now because you want to DDL with the Colossal Dread Mask, and the game is over.
Venditti won this game, so it's currently 9-0, and Gavin has to
Ponza
win
9-0.
at least other 2 games to do top 8. So our Italian Stallone.
Our Italian friends, Giorgio Venditti, is on fire. I mean,
He's on fire. Yes.
He's playing one of the 2 most played decks, but he's playing well. The deck is good. Is well positioned. I wasn't really expecting to see a deck playing Basic Forest doing well with Grixis Affinity in the meta. Grixis Affinity used to be the deck with Kraken Shaman, and Kraken Shaman is the biggest user available in the format alongside Creepras if you against basic forest decks.
Yeah, but we saw yesterday that the matchup for Grixis Affinity versus Ponza is a nightmare.
Yeah, right now Ponza is the favorite deck against Affinity, but before Modern Horizon 3, the deck Grixis Affinity was a nightmare for Ponza.
Yeah.
What changes so much? Variety Chrysalis, of course. There is also Dread Mask.
Yeah, also Dread Mask, this huge dinosaur mask.
Can you imagine losing to a mini card? I mean, I played Ponza with Steel Strider, and the 3-mana removal spell from Infinity that was a sort of fight effect that also triggered a permanent. So I'm used to play meme cards,
Yeah.
especially in Ponza, but those meme cards are also good.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about an Eldrazi creature, so a tentacle creature of the void with this huge mask on the face that
Yeah.
try to replicate a dinosaur. It's funny, but
You need to call it Guru Eldrazi. Yeah, you're
yeah,
basically playing the Eldrazi Strong from Modern, but with the colored lands.
yes, we have the strongest Eldrazi. It's stronger than in modern.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So Pauper used to be the deck where the format where the best Eldrazi was Ulamog's Crusher. Right now,
yeah.
the best Eldrazi is Writing Reality. So now you have the chance to play Eldrazi Strong, and you have good Eldrazi.
Yes, we have our little Emrakul
At
in
home.
this moment at home.
Can we have Emrakul? No, we have Emrakul at home.
Yes,
Okay. So,
but if you see the meta
yeah, that's
game,
day 2 metagame, right? Because the day 1 metagame is this one.
No, this
that's
is the TPP.
No, we don't have it. Seems like it.
yeah,
Okay, right.
yeah.
Let's show our public the metagame. Okay.
Okay, this is the meta game of the day 2, and we can see how
Ponza is the most played deck.
Ponza is the most played deck, but Colgate disappear. Colgate disappear. Colgate is like,
Surprising, right?
where is Colgate? There is no Colgate. But Colgate in a meta of Ponza is not very well positioned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Ponza deck is very favored against the Kugate, especially with the print of the new Eldrazi beatdown creature. So you can charm block Guardian of the Guild Pact.
yeah,
And also you can block more efficiently the flying creatures. And also the decks being good against the Ponza are also very, very good against the Kogate. Just
Yeah.
to say, Walls combo.
and you know what? You know what's the best deck against Ponza?
Is probably Quildota Red.
Sliver.
Or
There are
Slivers.
4 copy of Sliver, and this is a meme. Every time I do a tier list, the Sliver is like on the bottom, but every time there are some players that try to say, no, the deck is still good, I want to continue to try. And the last time, in the last PauperGeddon, there was a Sliver on 9th position for rating,
Yeah.
and now we will see if
Now we are likely to see Eldrazi top 8 and maybe even winning the event. A friend of mine which come with me at PauperGeddon decided to play Flickertron on the TPP.
Yeah.
And after doing that, he got so demoralized that chose to play Slivers at the main event. The funny part is that he thought of going 0-2 drop play commander with me because he told me I'm waiting you after round 4 because you are not commenting at that round. Told me to play commander, but he lost the first round, then went undefeated and got at day 2 of the PauperGeddon Pisa with Slivers.
Yeah.
And he wasn't expecting at all that reason. I mean, even Slivers was kind of a meme deck for a lot of time.
Yeah.
But there is not Furies in the format. There is not Golgari midrange, Golgari Gardens anymore because those decks are bad against the most played decks like Grixis Affinity or Ponza. And for that reason, this metagame is kind of weird, unexpected, and it is probably the weirdest PauperGeddon ever we had until now. with this kind of metagame.
So this is a question for you because I wanted you reply to that, but without the ban of Grand Ram, will be Affinity top tier or will Pawns Out classes it anyway?
I think that the matchup against Ponza can be better than it is right now because, Affinity right now works well as a control deck instead of an aggressive deck. So if you just play enough answers, you can maybe improve a lot of that matchup. So even though Affinity can play a role as a control deck, can also be very good as an aggressive deck, thanks to creatures like Gearseeker Serpent and Mirror Force, of course. So if you add also Cranial Ram, what are you doing with Sneaky Snacker and Earthful Revision Familiar? You are improving basically your matchup against every deck because you are now a card that can stall out of the spot a game. So if you are playing against Ponza, you have your cards, you can survive and stride the first rounds. Then after doing that, you are reaching a point in which Ponza is likely to draw some lands and also draw some creatures like Annoyed Altisaur. But if you don't have creatures as big as Annoyed Altisaur, what can you do? Nothing much because you need a removal spell. So instead of having a removal spell, you can just play Cranial Ram and chump block it or equip it on a flying creature, attack, and forcing your opponent to chump block. But if they don't have the creature, if they don't have the chump blocker, it's just straightforward with. Because, Cranial Ram is something like pay 2 mana, deal 10 damage or more. So kind of easy to win at that point. And in my opinion, so to say in 2 words the answer to your question, I think that the matchup will be really improved for Affinity, and probably we will even see more copies of Affinity in a metagame with Cranial Ram.
Yeah, I think that in the same way. So, yes. So, we had at the start of this event 638 players at the end. So it is a really impressive tournament. This was the round number 9, I think.
Yeah.
This was the round number 9, and we will take a short break, and we will return in a while with round number 10. So stay tuned. There will be in total 12 round, and at the end we will have the top 8. It will be amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. See you later.